And I think we're back. I think we're here. What's up, everybody? It is me, Sean Tank Top. I am over here at Casa de Tank Top. Welcome to the Boba Brunch Breakdown, our weekly Book of Boba Fett recap show, discussion. Probably saying some inappropriate things. I mean, I'm assuming it's not your first time here, but if it is, that is what we are doing. This is a full spoiler discussion for the third episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Hi, how is everybody doing out there in the chat? Good to see y'all. Good to see everybody. Hello. All right, cool. And now we're going to start introducing all the players. Some you know and some you don't. And you know them, but they've never been here before. But first, we got Morgan over there at the Dojo Drinks. How you doing over there, Morgan?
I'm feeling lonely, but I'm here.
You're feeling lonely? Oh, that's like what it's like. Did you throw Dustin in a trash compactor or something like that?
I threw him out. Yeah, he's in the dumpster out back. No. Pandemic style, you make like a hair appointment like a million years in advance.
Right.
And you can't really cancel on them because they're like having a hard time right now. So
and they're like booked out for a year.
Yeah, and it's also like one of our really good friends. So I'm like, he can't do that to her. So
oh, that's right. Yeah, because he made that shit in like November or something like that.
Yeah,
so you got to keep it. You can't
Sorry, guys.
100%. I think it's like even though he shall be missed. I think we'll be able to get through the stream with him. We also have biker girl Eilish over here. We got Maddie Kay Ray. How you doing over there, my dear?
I am having a great time. I watched the Yellow Jacket season finale last night, and I was so excited to see Nat pop up today on or not today, yesterday on the new Boba episode. Yeah. And so I thought I would meme both our resemblance and also the like blue like rocker motif that is happening. Like
100%. Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean like that was I've been hearing some Millie just started watching it.
It's such a Millie show, not gonna lie. It's amazing, dude.
I need to steal your password because I just can't buy another streaming service.
I steal a password.
Can you put that in? Can you put that in the chat, Manny, just so we can get a look at it? All right, cool,
just
awesome.
Put your password in there.
Your password's on
I don't have a password. I'm stealing someone else's.
I need to find someone to steal from.
You got to figure it out.
If you need to access it, I can like see me later. I can slice it for you.
We can figure out a little something. And we have ourselves, and not last, but certainly not motherfucking least, we have ourselves our very extra special guest for this week. You know him, you love him. I don't maybe the most unaptly named like YouTube channel ever, Late to the Party, because these motherfuckers are at warp speed with those edits to the point that it makes me jealous inside. But you know him, you love him. It's Vanessa and Robert from Late to the Party. How y'all doing over there?
Holy crap!
There.
It's happening. Okay. Yeah, no, this. I'm just too excited to be here. Yeah,
everybody stay calm. It's happening.
Stay calm.
It's fucking happening.
This is exciting. No, we're so happy to be here. Yes, warp speed. We're all in it together.
That's why we are late to the party, because we're dealing with this.
To actual
we're doing reactions.
To literal,
so we don't get to the party on time.
Literal cheese and crackers like parties and stuff like that. Okay, all right. Okay, dude, like you're blowing my mind right now, man. It's like you're retconning it, like when they retcon the whole Death Star thing, like where it was like an actual design flaw, like that was meant to be there and everything like that from Rogue One. Well, that makes total fucking sense. But speaking of Star Wars and stuff, we are going to be talking about this here episode 3, just so everybody knows. Another thing. I don't know why you're here if you haven't seen the episode, but if you haven't, go watch it and then come back. It's a full spoiler breakdown of the episode. We're going to be going through a couple different prompts, general thoughts, fave scenes, McClunky moments, all too easy Easter eggs, always tell me the odds, all that stuff. And then also, if you want to get into the conversation and you want to ensure that you get into the conversation, hit us with a super chat for any dollar amount, and we will make sure that we highlight your question, theory, or comment, whatever it may be. That's how you guarantee that you guys get into the conversation over here. So just hit us up with those at any point throughout the stream. We're very lucky. We got 52 people hanging out over here. We already got a crowd going, so I'm into that. So without further ado, we'll start moving on. And I think I'm going to kick it to our guest of honor. I figure we might as well let them take the lead over here. We're going to be talking about our General Kenobi thoughts over here of this episode. Y'all, Robert, Vanessa, what did you think? What were your general thoughts about this week's episode?
I had fun with it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself while watching it. I don't know what I was expecting because I wasn't really expecting anything at this point. Whatever they're going to give me, I'm like, okay, that's what they gave us. But there were certain moments of this episode that just like I had a lot of fun with, especially when it comes to some of the things you're going to ask. So
I agree. It was a lot of fun. I love that Stephen Root is now part of the Star Wars universe.
Big one. But no, man, we enjoyed it.
Right on. Hell yeah. Maddie, what did you think about this one? This is The Streets of Mont Espa, directed by Robert Rodriguez, written by the Favs over there. Maddie, what did you think about this week's episode? Oh. I don't think I can hear you. Are you muted?
Yes, sorry. I mute when other people are talking, and I am the dumbass, and I forget how to mute.
No. Appreciate that. What's up?
Hello. I was just doing a bit. All good. Yeah, no, but I really loved it. I hot take. This is the most Spy Kids episode of Star Wars. Like, fully, you could feel the Robert Rodriguez just all over it. Just it's a beautiful, fun, bright colored, like glinty, shiny, like mess in a good way. Like, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and I had a good time. I didn't love it as much as I loved the last episode, but I was having more fun almost. So
or like this, maybe like the stakes didn't seem, even though they're getting like bigger and kind of more grand, and maybe more dire, but there was like just a lot in the episode. You know what I mean? Even though it was way shorter.
It was just funny. It was just hysterical. And so like you're having a good time and laughing while you're watching the action, and it's great. And you know, I want that feel good. I need that feel good.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, hey, we could all use a little feel good, like, and that's a big thing that people come to this show for sure. Shout out to Jazz 41173. Love the rainbow of hair color that the ladies are bringing. The fellas need to step it up. I mean, when you're right, Jazz.
We're cosplaying all of the speeder bikes. That's what's happening.
Oh my God, we are.
100%. I was like, I don't think I got any bleach dye. Like, I mean, like me as a blonde would be kind of weird or whatever it is, but I think
it would give me like Ray Park energy.
A little Ray Park. Yeah. I mean, and that's, you know, that's not too bad. Oh, like, especially early Ray Park, like back in the day, Ray Park and shit like that. Yeah, absolutely. With like this frosted tips, like he's from fucking tips, Sugar Ray or something like that.
But also, like, when he showed up at Celebration in Chicago, and he had like that full arm and like a black t-shirt and just like this dark ass beard, and then like completely platinum roots, like
totally
extremely Ray Park.
He's going full Khaleesi with that, where he goes like, I am dying the top of my head and nothing else, and no motherfuckers are going to tell me anything about it for sure. I'm Ray Park. I'm Darth Maul. You can't say shit to me. Anyway, we got going on with the general Kenobi thoughts. Morgan, what were your kind of general feelings about this episode this week?
I didn't understand a lot of the choices, but I will agree I had a lot of fun watching it. And also, the more I think about some things, the more hilariously it just makes me laugh.
Sure.
I'm tired of being mad at Star Wars. I want to laugh at Star Wars.
Yeah, the BK Broiler twins thing. Like, I have thoughts on that. I love it. It just makes me laugh so hard.
I know.
And I appreciate the introduction of characters that aren't like, oh, I'm Han Solo's half brother, and that's why I'm in this mod squad. Like, no, they're like they're just kids. They just show up. We don't know who they are, and I appreciate that. Any new characters, I'm down for.
The literal mod squad. You know what I mean? Like,
I love the mod
Is there
squad.
any other?
I love them so much.
Yeah.
Why are they there? I don't know. I don't care. They're fun.
No, and they do. I mean, that was one thing that like it is jarring, but I think it is like it to be. You think about this, like in a world literally smeared with in a world literally smeared with dust and shit, like, you know what I mean, like, but that's like what Tatooine is like. It's just dusty and dirty and like a punk rock bent on that would be like, I'm going to have the most clean, shiny, spotless motherfucking moped, and none of you assholes are going to say nothing about it. You know what I mean? And so like, I think they kind of leaned into that.
And
definitely.
Also like literally nothing. And I know some people in the chat are upset about, you know, how nice and squeaky clean and like fun and colorful they were. But like the thing about it is that like every single episode they've shown us a way that Tatooine has changed and have given us a chance to shift our expectations. Like we only knew Mos Eisley, and Star Wars is kind of like cheekily firing back with like, haha, there's more than one city on every planet. There's more than one climate. There's more than one atmosphere. You can have many different atmospheres.
Totally.
And I really like that. Honestly, it's about damn time.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, we've talked about this a lot before. We're just like literally giving me anything, like even if it's not like, even if it doesn't like, if I'm not in love with it, you know, like at the outset, I just always appreciate some new shit. I mean, like we know that like cyborgs and like these kind of and you know these types of things like exist within Star Wars, but we haven't seen it like where it's been of their own volition. Like I wanted this fucking eye. Like I wanted this leg. I wanted this weird Alita Battle Angel like kind of setup or whatever.
And it inherently like gives you like, that's the thing that I love about transhumanism is the choice and the consent that like is coming through when a lot of our post-apocalyptic and like cyberpunky like stories are the opposite of that. They're like think of like Deus Ex Human Revolution. Adam Jensen's like, I never asked for this, like etc. Like Luke doesn't ask for the robot hand, like etc. So I love like if there are people who aren't given a choice, there must also be people who are given a choice and who like aspire to be that. And I really appreciate that.
Totally. Yeah, I think that's a good way to think about it. And again, just like just new stuff, new concepts. You know what I mean? I think it's like, I think that I think there's literally just like, for me, like it's just there's just like a couple of literal just like filmmaking mechanics that I think that I was like, like, you know, like even though I like the chase was a little slow, like, you know what I mean? It was just like, it was, again, we made that joke, I think, I don't know if we made it on air or off air, but like where it was kind of like the Austin Powers, like the steamroller going, where it's like, no! It's supposed to be really intense, and it's kind of like whatever, but maybe that'll be, maybe that might be a McClucky moment, maybe it won't be, I don't know, but just a little bit of something, but also just coming off of like that fucking Doof Warrior, like Mad Max Fury Road kind of breakneck speed in juxtaposition. I think it just highlighted a little bit more. Maybe if it didn't immediately follow that, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it's hard to say.
Right. I mean, but like think about the architecture and the structure of Mos Espa, right? Like it's kind of like a bunch of big blocky buildings that aren't laid out. They're like, nobody hired a civil engineer to make these Tatooine towns. So like, you're kind of, you want to go slow so that you don't fucking wreck everything. And
well, it's like when they do some of those like car chases in like old European cities and stuff like that, and it's really cramped and like kind of like they can't ball it out like as much as like you probably maybe would want to or normally would.
And if you played Shadows of the Empire, you know how damn clunky those swoop bikes are trying to get through the damn city.
Dude, that
like, precisely.
That was the fucking bane of my goddamn existence when I was like 11. It was like, yeah, like was trying to like was getting through that game and doing, but I remember like that was like, yeah, that was a total like for me, that was like it was a gateway drug to like the extended universe and shit like that for me at that point. For you know, whenever, however old I was, I can't remember how old, 12 years old or something like that. Perfect fucking age for that one for sure. Okay, cool. Well, I think that pretty much does it for the general thoughts and everything like that. I mean, again, like a couple things that are like a touch sloppy here and there, but I still had a good time. Like it's hard for me to be like it. Yeah, I'm with you, Maddie. Where it's just like I almost don't know if I could bring myself to be mad at Star Wars anymore. Like kind of coming from like the gauntlet of like, you know, like previous like, you know, iterations of the franchise and shit like that. But now I'm just like, it's fine. It's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like I kind of have like, I definitely like some big dad energy shit. Like whenever I go see a movie with my dad where I'd just be like, so Pop, what'd you think about that? And he goes like, that's pretty good. And that's it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, and I'm like, and that's kind of like, and that's also fine, and that type of stuff is totally cool. All right, well, moving right along, I figure we'll roll on over to our fave scene. of the episode. Maddie. Oh, no. Do your thing.
Go
Morgan.
somewhere else. I'll be right back.
I got you. Morgan. All right.
Yes.
We're definitely not doing, I didn't even want to ask Maddie's favorite scene. I wasn't going to, I didn't even want to do that at all. Morgan, what was your favorite scene of this episode?
I just loved, and as much as it, like, people complain that it doesn't make sense, like they just kind of were like, okay, we give up, bye, with the twins.
Yeah.
It reminded me of one of those chaotic friends you have that will come to your party smashed and like punch someone and steal money out of your wallet.
You can just say it's me, Morgan. You can just say it's me. All right.
But like, if you're like, are you stealing money? They're like, oh, no, sorry. And then they show up the next day with like the most extravagant gift you can think of, and then like they weren't.
It's like every shitty friend you've had, like in the city.
Like they're not trying to steal money. Actually, they were just drunk and doing shit for the dopamine hit.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just scumbags.
So you're like,
they're just scumbags.
Exactly. So I mean, it felt very true to life. The Hutts were like coming off an orgy. We're like probably still drunk from the orgy, and was like, we have to go take over the city. It'll be fucking amazing. Like, did you know Jabba died? Oh, we should probably go take over that city.
Oh, yeah. Did we?
And then
yeah,
they show up. They try to assassinate Boba and it doesn't work. And they go, this is hard. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. I need a nap. So they come and they say, we're sorry. Have a dog. He's a rescue.
Sorry, have a dog. It's like also like
he's depressed. You're gonna have to give him his pills.
Yeah, you're gonna give him his pills.
Have two dogs actually. If we're talking about what is Black Cranston?
Yeah. We've been calling him Black Cranston as like
Chrysanthemum.
Well, he ran away.
Yeah.
No, that was a hilarious moment, like where he just kind of like he undoes the cuffs or whatever it is. He's like, maybe the life isn't so good. Just don't work for assholes. Like, just take it from me, etc. So forth. And then he just kind of like jogs away from in the wide shot. It was really fucking funny. No, I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Vanessa, Robert, what was your favorite scene?
I mean, going back to like when Black Chrysanthemum like did run away, it kind of like reminded me of like in Scary Movie where she like does the like when she's running away. Like, it's just like an awkward thing. You're like, okay.
I mean, I got like a Harry from Harry and the Hendersons like running off into the forest. Just like that's a hell of a Sasquatch right there, man.
I mean, like how amazing would that have been if they like basically did that like kind of Old Yeller-esque scene with John Lithgow, like where he's trying to get him to leave and he backhands him with pace and one, and it's that really verbose, amazing like John Lithgow overacting where it's like, oh, why don't you leave us alone? Whatever it was, and he slaps him or whatever. That'd be amazing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but anyway, continue.
Yeah, for me, I'd say the Black Chrysanthemum fight, man. I mean, I know there's some faults within the execution, literally, of this assassination attempt,
right?
And still, man, it was a surprise. Somebody who wants to be surprised because you're filming a reaction video.
Yes,
you want crazy things to happen. Him waking up and having him rip him from the Bacta tank.
He's got manners. He waited for the Bacta tank to open first before he grabbed him.
There's an etiquette there. I'm just saying.
He did absolutely. Like, oh, what if that was like? Because what I'm thinking is like, you got to try to find wherever I guess like the mouthpiece goes and cut that off, right? And then keep him locked.
Or just put poison in the tube.
Or just poison it. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Who knows? I mean, like, I don't
know.
know.
In the head.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. No, there was a
Get
little
a gun, you Wookiee.
But I like how
Morgan and I are taking over this assassination bounty hunting empire. We're gonna do it right this time.
I love how Sean went for like the slowest death possible. Dude,
that's true. Wow, that again, like turns out I was a ghostwriter on this episode. I just have really bad assassination plans. Apparently, no, but like, yeah, I mean, like he had a gun the size of one of those fucking like speeder bikes that was in this episode. Like that would have come in, I don't a little handy if you wanted to, if you're trying to kill somebody and stuff. The big thing for me that at least about that fight that I remember was those brass knuckles that he had.
Ooh, the vibro nuts. Yes.
Those were so cool. But I mean, I'm sorry, like if that motherfucker comes anywhere, like hits you in the jaw, like square cold cocks you in the jaw, like you do not have a jaw anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's electrified too.
Boba was hilariously like unhurt during that whole fight. Like he was getting bitch slapped, like thrown across the room, and he just was like, "Oh, okay, I'm getting back up."
It was. I mean, like he's like, well, I mean, like again, Morgan brought it up in the thing. It was one of the most, and I can't unsee it, but like how he does.
It's him.
He looks like Frank. He looks like Frank from It's Always Sunny with the hand sanitizer.
That was one of those moments where I was like,
yeah. Oh,
Well, like, is no one gonna mention that that's Frank Reynolds on my screen right now?
Right, exactly.
By a Wookiee.
Get Danny DeVito finally get Danny DeVito into the Star Wars universe.
I was impressed though. This is the first time that you see Temuera Morrison and like you realize how old he is. Like
a little bit.
Kind of get to it, but you're like, whoa.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, and going. Doing the preemptive strike and going bald and stuff like that will help that a little bit. But there's definitely something to that, and just like kind of like in the tidy whities and stuff like that. I did.
It's the tidy grays for me.
The tidy grays for sure. And like also like that was the other thing about I didn't realize that BK Broiler, that he took like a bunch of fighting tips from Mike Tyson, because he was biting everybody. He would not stop biting people. Like I
didn't know Wookiees were biters.
Like I didn't know that either. Like it was so crazy. Yeah, right. No, like it was like I think he bit he definitely got a Gamorrean guard really good, and then I think he also bit I think he also bit Boba as well, and there wasn't a scratch on him. Like he doesn't have a single piece of armor, clothing anyway. You know what I mean? Like
plot armor,
whatever. So which is like again,
plot armor. Yeah, he's
plenty. Plenty of plot armor.
Plenty of that. Yeah,
oh, that's right. That's true. We were watching it for the plots with that one for sure. I'm sorry. Did I get both of you with your favorite scene, like over there, Vanessa?
Yeah. I mean, my other favorite scene was just the Rancor, getting to get more of that, and the fact that he imprinted on Boba, and we're like, fuck yeah, we get to finally see him like interact with the Rancor, and I hope we get a little montage of them training.
Oh yeah.
Tanny Trejo. So yeah, that's great.
It is funny that I can't remember if it was on a trailer. I can't remember like where the trailer was, but like how they did, like he finally, like Robert Rodriguez was able to make good on his promise by putting Machete in space. I mean, he got him there basically. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, granted, he's on the ground or whatever, but he's in literally in a galaxy far, far away. And like, I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, and again, like, same thing kind of with the same thing with like the Tusken Raiders, like in the last couple episodes, where we just get to learn a little bit more about like this particular creature. And this thing that we've kind of known as like a very formidable, like bloodthirsty beast and stuff like that. And he's just like, it turns out like it's like the Star Wars pit bull, where just like they're way sweeter, and like, you know, and the like they get a bad rap essentially or whatever it was. I really
got a pit bull now.
Keep it. I got a pit bull now. Yeah.
I don't know. It was definitely like I enjoyed that tremendously. I thought that was a really, really good one.
It's a fun aspect,
which makes that whole scene in Return of the Jedi like way worse now.
Way sadder.
I totally understand that why he was crying. You're like, oh man, now I feel bad for cheering the fact that he died.
Absolutely.
That part always broke my heart, even when I was a little kid, because I immediately, as a little kid,
was so sad.
Yeah.
And now we understand why.
I love the consoling.
And every time we watch, like we would start watching like Clone Wars, if I see like the good guys like just killing the guard pet, there's always like a guard creature.
Right,
I'm always like, you just shot their dog. That that was just doing its job, keeping people out of this space.
Right.
Because you're not supposed to be there. I don't care if you are the good guys. I don't forgive any of the good guys when they shoot people's pets.
No, I mean like it does well, and that's just like I think it was Mr. Sunday Movies. They did a video on this where they were talking about like just the epidemic of like animal and pet murder in Star Wars. It's like it's an indigenous animal to this area. Better kill it. You know what I mean? Like that pretty much happens.
Might as well die.
Might as well fucking die, dude. Like I mean, like that's essentially kind of what happens like all throughout the entire series of movies and TV shows and everything. With the exception of Rise of Skywalker, which is, like he literally heals that one big snake weirdo or whatever it was. Like,
wow, I didn't even consider that.
That's what I'm saying. And like, is that why? Is that why it's cursed? Because they didn't follow the formula? No.
Is that why Rey falls to the dark side? Is it because she
exactly 100% because she didn't murder that fucking snake?
Jesus,
went against the grain.
Oh my god. Maddie, what was your favorite scene of this episode?
I honestly like the part where they make Boba reckon with like being a boss and being like a family. Like you got to take care of your people, not just the rich ones. And so when they started to talk back, she was like, and Biker Girl Eilish was like, I don't give a shit who you are. Listen, you do you even know what's going on? Like he's making us pay out the ass. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Yes.
Yeah, I think Morgan also brought it up. Was it Occupy Droid Street? I think we said like.
Yes. I mean, let's be honest. If there are people dressed in like punk rock clothing with that identify as workers, like I'm all there. Like sign me up.
Yeah,
100%. Let's go. Where's the revolution? We out here.
No, and again, like it definitely. We've talked about this before. Like I remember, like on our Mando season 2 discussions and stuff. Like I remember us like. Just being really fascinated with the Mon Calamari fishermen guys, like just because I just love to see how this world operates. You know what I mean? Like we kind of have run the gambit with like the amount of crazy things that we can do, like in a spaceship. Not to say that there isn't, that they won't come up with some. I'm sure that there's going to be filmmakers that have come up with like a bunch of other really awesome, like things to do as far as action sequences. But there's definitely elements about the world that I'm just excited to explore. You know what I mean? And that's definitely one of punk rock kids like on the cancer corner, skipping school. Fucking like not giving a fuck. Like I'm all about that shit. So like,
I just want to give Chad a history lesson real quick. They're like, oh yeah, like he's a good crime boss, or like, oh, he could just be the mayor. Like the reason that mafias were like rose up were because the governments weren't taking care of its citizens, and people banded together to protect their rights. And that's like in a lot of cases, like the mafias and the familias were the people who were standing up against the corruption and saying, you need to take care of our people or we're going to make you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and like, or just like a community policing kind of element to it, and everything like that. Like, and we've said this before. We are a pro mafia, pro crime channel, like all day for sure.
Be gay, do crime. We're there.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
Make sure you pay your dues.
Absolutely.
And tip your fucking bartenders.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like favorite scene. I mean, like, yeah, like the meeting with the twins and just that moment of seeing the Rancor kind of just be brought up, and then it's like it comes like, oh my god, we're getting the twins. Oh my god, like they're just kind of like letting them loose, like no big deal. Like, oh my god, like there's a Rancor. Oh my god, it's Machete. Like it just kind of kept. It was definitely like a rolling wave of just like a lot of fun things that I just wasn't expecting.
I know it was so different from the whole entire Star Wars formula. And like, I don't know, I'm gonna like launch into my like thing that I was gonna do this episode, which is that I am like a notorious Boba Fett hater. For all of the reasons that this episode has made me a Boba Fett lover. Like truly. I love that they're taking all of the toxic like Star Wars theory, like things that people love about Boba Fett, that people have imprinted and decided
literally
about Boba
imprinted
Fett.
Like a Rancor.
Yeah, literally. They're projecting and they're just like, well, Boba is too cool to do this. Boba wouldn't do this. Boba's way more badass than this. And it's like, hey, maybe the most badass thing you can do is be nice to animals and take care of your people and show emotions and feeling. Have you ever considered that?
And
also, yeah, you go. What's up?
No. I'm so sorry. No. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like this show. I mean, I was hoping it would, but this show truly has turned me into a Boba Fett lover because this is like this is my Boba Fett. Like, I love the guy who wants to take care of his people and who gives a shit. And it's kind of like girl bossing his way, like, to success. like completely just like fumbling, but like because he cares and because he wants to do things the right way, you know, he might make mistakes, but his heart's in the right place. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's go.
I think it's a good bent to kind of take on the character, and like, and if you're gonna make a story about him, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to. You have to be able to identify with him in some way, and it's just like, I don't know, just like collecting bounties. Like, it could be fun, but I just don't think that journey is is as interesting. And the other thing is, you have to fucking consider, everybody's like, oh, he wouldn't do this. Like, they're gonna be eating those fucking words when he is riding on top of a Rancor, ganking fucking pikes like left and right, like, which is absolute, which I think is pretty much the only way where that can kind of go. Am I wrong, or am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
It's gonna happen.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
It's gotta happen. But the thing is, like, Boba Fett, if he collectively, the amount of screen time and what he's achieved within the screen time is really all we're going off of. I mean, Legends and all the extended lore, I mean, that was created, but it's all wiped away. So now we can only focus on basically that he beat Han Solo to Bespin, is essentially what he did. That's how he outsmarted him, which is great. You know, floated with the trash. It's brilliant. Good job. You're cunning. But when it comes to like showing a badass level or cunning and lethal and all this stuff, like, obviously he's a bounty hunter, but he fetched Han Solo, didn't kill him, even packed him up very nicely, which became the standard of transporting prisoners for basically all Mandalorians after that point. And then he got knocked into the pit. He fell in the pit.
You know, and George has been on record saying, like, well, if I would have known that everybody was going to fucking freak out about this guy, I would have given him a cooler death scene. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely said that shit before.
And then he was reborn in the ashes of the pit.
There's a Parks and Rec joke about Chris Pratt. We don't speak his name, but like remember that like episode with like the big hole in the ground, and then he's like, we're all falling in the pit. Like, where's the Boba Fett version of that song?
Oh, absolutely.
Right? You know, like, where is it? I want it. Give it to me.
Next Rebo will do it.
Provide.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god, that'd be incredible. No, the I think that it definitely like I mean, as is evidenced by this conversation alone, like, it definitely like there's some like little mini hangups, and we're gonna get to them, but like you know, for the most part, it was just like this is just a pretty easy show for me to watch.
Yeah, too. I don't have to think too hard about it. I don't have to Google stressed out wise about it. Like, I can just chill out and have a good time, and I'm not mad. I'm usually not mad. There are some things that make me mad, to be honest, but like for the most part, I'm like, this doesn't make me want to like kill everything. So I'm like okay with it.
which is pretty nice for Star Wars, honestly. Definitely like an MVP moment. Speaking of MVPs, we're gonna go through the episode MVPs of this thing. And this can be an actor, it can be a character, it can be a filmmaker, it can be a crew person, whatever, what have you. You know what I mean? Like who was, and we'll kick it over to Robert and Vanessa. Who was your episode MVP for this week?
Well, we share one.
Hell yeah! What you got?
Stephen Root.
Root.
God!
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't care what it is. If Stephen Root is popping up, like, I'm in love, and it's because of news radio for me. Jimmy James.
Yeah.
Like, the news radio is one of the shows where I'm like, I could put it above The Office. So when it comes to Jimmy James and Stephen Root, granted, everybody else, it was Office Space. And don't get me wrong, I love Milton Wadhams. And then Dodgeball, L for Love.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so many other movies. I mean, he's popped up in amazing things. Get Out. He had an amazing role in Get Out. But seeing him here, just in any way, shape, or form, to me, that was a machete moment. So I got a machete Danny Trejo, but I got a Stephen Root.
I feel like it was also the moment where it was like, holy shit, that's Stephen Root. Like, you just never really think that, like, he would ever be part of Star Wars. Sure. And then, of course, you know, he pops up and you're like, all right.
As a watermonger,
okay, I'll take it.
He's not a nice guy. He's kind of a sleazebag.
Boba Fett was on an episode of News Radio, now that I remember.
Oh my god.
They had a Boba Fett figurine that was like a hidden camera.
What?
And I remember, because that was the thing, was that Dave Foley was a big nerd and he had to hide a camera, and he hid it in a Boba Fett
Right.
So there's a connection. It's all connected.
And he gets tossed out a window of a giant fancy hotel, and Joe Rogan's wearing the glasses for the thing, and he goes, ah! He starts screaming when they chuck Boba Fett off the building.
And then Joe Rogan's like,
Rogan wasn't problematic.
Right. Yeah. When Joe Rogan was just kind of like a funny dude or whatever it was.
Sure.
Like, yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, we're just like, well, it's like, I know you fell in the thing, but I mean, like, I don't know. Is it really medically even possible for you to die from falling into that hole? Really? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of like there's some really interesting ideas about like that I've read on the internet about saying that people wouldn't die from that fall. You know what I'm saying? Like, or some bullshit that I'm sure that he would fucking say.
That's a pretty good Joe Rogan. I'm sorry.
You're triggering me so hard right now, Sean.
What's that?
You're triggering me so hard right now, Sean.
Right. Well, you know, that's pretty interesting. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Yeah. You're just like, I need you to stop talking now. Like, yeah.
Well, actually, like,
yeah, right. Oh my God. No, well, I think that's a great one. No, and also like, yeah, I mean, he's just done he's been in so many things. He is like, he's like the character actor par excellence. You know what I mean? Like, and you can kind of, and I was
gonna say.
Wait, what's that?
Character actor Stephen Root. I was gonna say. I feel like you have to give the title.
That's literally instead of a Mr., it's character actor Stephen Root.
Yes.
like that's how
character actor Margot Martindale, etc. Like, yeah.
100%. Well, like I mean, yeah, because and it is funny, and that just kind of speaks to like his career. Is that the first thing that I've thought of was his crazy weird recording recording artist guy in Oh Brother Where Art Thou or whatever it is, like, well, that was a mighty kind of singing and a bounty hunting, you know, or whatever the fuck it was. Like, that's what I was kind of going with my
yes.
But yeah, no, but he was and he's always a treat, and he's definitely going to throw in with the Pikes or something, you know what I mean? Right. Like, yeah, he's got to betray him coming up in the next episode or something,
or hire somebody to do something foolishly.
Need some drama.
Oh my God, we get a Barry crossover where it's BK Broiler as Barry like Barry Chrysanthemum, and he contracts him, and Black Chrysanthemum's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to act. Like, where it's like, no, you got to get out there. You got to kill Boba Fett. Like, it's like I already tried once. He's actually kind of a nice guy. I just want to take acting lessons. Like,
that's a show I would watch.
Oh, I would watch.
Spin it off.
%. Oh my God. Let's kick it over. Let's kick it over to Maddie. Who's your MVP this week?
Gotta be Machete. Like, honestly, yeah. I love, like, I just can't, like, what is there to say except for, like, look at this man. Number one is Robert Rodriguez. We knew it was going to happen eventually. Number two, I love Danny Trejo in anything. Honestly, he did an episode of the Jordan Harbinger podcast that I recommend everybody check out. Ooh. It is he talks about being an ex-con and like how that informs his acting and like what he learned from acting in jail and stuff like that. And like, it's truly like, number one, abolished, but number two, like, it's so fucking good. And he's so like, I mean, everybody knows he's just like a gem of a person, but like, he's so like respectful and like, not, I don't want to say intelligent in a way that makes you think that he's not, but like, or that people don't expect that he is, but like the way he is so intentional and like it's important to him, right? That when he has a conversation with you, you can feel that it's important and that he cares about what you're saying and that you care about what he's saying and he's saying things that really matter. And I love him so much. And so to have him come in as Machete, but like doing like his best like animal rehab guy impression is just so good. Like, I truly was like, of course he's the Rancor handler. Like, what else would he be? Like, of course he's out here saying like, you know, Rancors are often misunderstood. And like, and like just going off.
He's like, talking about himself probably a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah, like
it's so great, dude.
That's why they identify with each other so much, you know. Yeah,
I want to know more about his character. Like, why? Like, how did he get into Rancor training? Like, was he also like a gladiator? Like, you know, does he resent the life? Like, is he super happy about Boba? Like, I want to see how their relationship develops. And I was really, it's kind of sad that he didn't get to imprint on the Rancor. I was like, give him a Rancor buddy. He deserves it.
And he's going to be around longer. He's actually saying there where Boba Fett's going to be running off all the time. He looks so sad. He's like, don't worry, he'll come back.
Yeah, exactly.
You just imprinted and you fuck off? Come on.
Yeah, he was just like, all right, now that you've imprinted, I have to go out and get a pack of cigarettes, or whatever the fuck it is.
Never return.
What happened for sure. Yeah, there was. I remember I was thinking I was like, well, why not both? Why don't you both stand in front of there? Be a couple of what's it? 2 men and a baby Rancor. 2 men and
a baby Rancor.
2 men and a baby Rancor for sure. No, I mean
that's the show I want. I don't care about anything else. Just
absolutely,
give me that.
100%. Like the I mean, like his addition to it, and especially like in a Boba Fett show, it just kind of. I mean, he should have been in the show regardless if fucking Robert Rodriguez directed this or not. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely,
it should have happened. And the other thing and this kind of goes back to the point that Vanessa and Robert made before, as far as like that is one thing that coming from Mando and this show. The fucking curveballs that they throw you with some of their casting, getting like Bill Burr, getting Amy Sedaris, getting all of those types of people that you just would not think to have in there. Like, or if you were to hire them, you'd make them like a droid or something like that. Like they kind of relegate like some of the comedic kind of like the people with the comedic chops and stuff like that to do like droid stuff or whatever, or funny like character, like a creature or something. Not just to be like, it's like yeah, it's fucking Bill Burr. I'm over here in Star Wars, and you're just like, okay, like I guess this is a thing, and like, but like yeah. So I think that's I don't know. I think that's definitely something. Like to be applauded, and especially with Danny Trejo and the Rancor and like all that stuff. I really hope that they flesh that out a lot more. I'm right there with you for sure.
The way they're taking, like they're like weaponizing the like toxic masculinity of Star Wars and inverting it on itself with the show, with Danny Trejo, with Boba Fett, with the Tuskens, like with everything. Like I'm so about it.
Well, they're that's the tough guys. I mean, that's how it always is. They got these big gummy bear hearts and stuff like that in there. You know what I mean? And
Haribo? Do we think they're Haribo gummy bear hearts?
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
They're the best. They're the best ones.
You know what they're taking? They're going all the way back to the fucking Battle of Endor with the Wilford Brimley template or whatever it was.
Yes.
Just piss and vinegar, but he's just a lover. He's just a lover. You know?
If you haven't checked out our episode on the Ewok movies series, I'm on the Ewoks of Endor, the second one, and it's a blast. We had a great time.
Check that one out. That one's a good time. Morgan, episode MVP. What do you got over there, gal?
I mean, I'm carrying it over from last week because he's been carrying it over since last week. Damn. My buddy, lizard guy in the front of that litter. I saw him fighting for his life. Week 2.
You can see how the litter like kind of like bends.
I know, right? Because and they are like, I gotta say, like I was definitely watching them a lot closer. Like this episode because of last episode.
I like the guy in the back. Shaky. I like the guy in the back sitter who's like, he's like fully underneath the litter. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Some of them are just chilling, and some of them are like, there's just one guy just a little shaky.
Just a struggle bus. Like we're just like, oh god, I fell asleep on the couch last night. Like and now my whole back's fucked up, or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, is there a ship? Are they walking all this way? Like, how the fuck long are these guys going for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when Boba Fett gets out of the palace, are they? I'm assuming they're taking a speeder of some sorts, but like it just kind of seems like they always are just walking everywhere.
I feel like there's a giant, like kind of like a giant like speeder. Like I'm thinking of like what is it, Luke's land speeder that has the big flat surface on it.
Right.
I think there's like a speeder forklift that comes in and like takes them down from the ship and like. But like right before they get into eyesight of whoever they're meeting, they're like, okay, we fully transfer manually, and then they just have to like, it's because it's a flex, right? It's a flex.
Yeah,
like
100%.
We literally have people to do this for us.
I'm royal, bitch.
Yeah, I'm royal, bitch. Yeah, exactly.
Show it off.
And so I think that they literally wait until the last possible moment. Because I feel like labor and HR expenses would be really, really rough otherwise.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
I mean, we think those twins are paying those people.
No, well, I hope they are.
No,
I hope they're hot. They're hot. They're not.
They are Hutts. I mean, like, no, they yeah, they probably
like you get credit to the company store, kids.
They're definitely doing. Yeah, there's definitely
Boba renames his ship because he sees how shittily the Hutts treat their
exactly
100%.
That's what happens.
And
listen, I love the Hutts, but I don't hold them up as like
they are definitely not aspirational.
You like the fact that they are feeling each other up while they're talking business, like not that like that's the cool element of them. The whole indentured servitude and all that type of stuff that can get we can keep that.
Yeah, I'll guillotine them at the end of the day. I will guillotine them. But
how do I highlight this comment? Maybe they are running like what's his face on the Rainbow Bridge in Thor Ragnarok. We got to shout out our Marvel universe continuity out here.
We got to do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
Heimdall, Idris Elba is like shooting out Hutts left and right to like send them to their closest location. That's exactly what's happening.
I'll say this though. I mean, like, you get me an Idris Elba in a Star Wars. That sounds pretty fucking fun.
I want him to be in Star Wars, and I want him to do the Pacific Rim speech, but for Star Wars.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yes. Like, what did she say? Like, we're canceling.
Today we're
canceling the apocalypse.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Sure, 100%. No, yeah. I mean, no, because he can put a button on the speech, because I remember that was an awkward part of that movie where he goes like, I'm not the main character, but I'm definitely acting like it right now. You know what I mean? Like in that movie and shit.
He's the aspirational head.
Right. Yeah. He was like, we need you to come in and do the fucking Independence Day speech. Like,
just come on in.
You know what I mean? Like,
honestly, like, mad respect for that speech. It's still one of my favorite speeches.
Oh, I think that's a highlight for the movie for fucking sure. Absolutely.
And they did try to bring him back to do it for the sequel. It didn't work very well.
Yeah, we don't talk about the sequel. We do talk about how much John Boyega fucks in the sequel, but we don't talk about the sequel. Yeah.
we don't talk about the sequel.
No, but John Boyega, like, fine.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh, absolutely. So we're moving on to like maybe some stuff where we got a couple of nits to pick, a couple of bones or something like that to kind of like that are sticking in our craw over there. We're talking about McClunky moments, with things that you maybe would have changed or you would have like done differently, or maybe just like a little hang up that you had about the episode. Morgan, what was your McClunky moment for this here episode?
I mean, with all of the stuff, there's a lot of, problems, slow car chase, and like I hated that they fridged the Tuscans, but I feel like I knew it was coming. I had kind of I knew they were gonna I knew it was gonna come. So the one that I really just don't understand how other than they just wanted this to how the scene went, but like Boba's going to go lay naked in a tank, and he's not going to have, like, at least a couple people guarding him at all. Like, when he's naked.
They all stagger in, like, so late. Like, where were these dudes? What were they doing? Like, we got to figure out what everybody was doing, because they were clearly doing something that was way more important than Boba Fett. So,
like, they
needed, like, maybe an explosion that BK Broiler, like, set off, and they were like, oh, shit, we got to go deal with this. And then he comes in, but they didn't like give us anything of like, I feel like you just needed like a little tiny something to explain why this old man asleep in the water was not being protected, even though he's like the literal king of this castle.
Right. Literally a king in a castle.
King in the castle.
One, I just can't get there yet.
No, so. No, definitely. Or even they literally could have just had like one of the Gamorrean guards knocked out, like on the floor already.
Yeah, you straight up
totally done
that,
like or whatever. Fine. You know what I mean? Like anything that would just not be like this, like this guy's like literally just like whistling, just like walking nothing, like whatever, just waltzing into this fucking to this palace or whatever it is. Like I'm 100% with you there, Mo.
What's funny to me is that the kids come first, and then the Gamorreans come like way later.
Okay,
like,
again,
what are these two doing?
Again, like these guys, like I don't know. Like, we gotta have like a fucking like we need a Sopranos-esque like dressing down like Tony Soprano, and goes like, now listen, I don't know what the fuck you two were thinking over there, but you can't be falling asleep at the wheel while we're on a job, especially right now when the heat's on us. You know what I mean?
We need some shit like after that. The episode.
Yeah, no, he needs to open up with him just like Glenn Ross, like just lambasting these motherfuckers, just being it's like it's your job to help us, not to let a giant dog person come in and strangle me in my fucking sleep.
All right, I got another comment for you to highlight from are these piggies porking each other?
Sometimes Gamorreans.
I support their love, honestly. I do.
Listen,
Gamorreans.
the
This is
whole-
the second time that they've been off doing who knows what, playing grab ass or something.
They are playing some grab ass because they're always like I mean, if they had a reaction channel, they should be called late to the party because these motherfuckers are always a couple of
They're
minutes
fucking
behind.
late.
Piggy, that's what they were doing.
Little Piggy went home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Little
they're.
Piggy
I
went
think,
to town.
yeah.
Hide that like what is it like?
Just saying.
Pigs in a blanket. Like they were hiding some pigs in some blankets for sure.
They were hiding some pigs in a blanket. They were going to town on their hogs. The hogs were going. The hogs were going ham. The hogs were going ham on their hogs. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what was going. For
Tastes
sure.
like bacon.
Yeah, I mean, like, oh my god, oh my god. No, I mean, like I think that they either need a stern talking to, or they need to garnish the wages, or they need to he's got to. It's like, all right, well, we're gonna have to send you to like a workshop where you're gonna have to learn how to fucking do this, right? Or whatever.
But instead, he gave him his Bacta tank. He's like, here, heal your wounds.
Well, that's another thing. What is this Bacta tank? This hot ham water that he's gonna be fucking dipping himself into? After he's done. What is it? It's like, well, now I just smell like split pea soup every time I try to go in there.
Okay, I know I don't think any of you are as obsessed with TikTok, but now I'm just thinking of the piggy dipping sound.
Oh my god!
It's just
I
this
think I
thing.
know what
It's
you're
piggy
talking about. Oh,
piggy
no.
dipping in the piggy pond. That's what the Bacta tanks taste
Piggy
like.
dipping in the
Piggy
piggy
dipping in the
pond.
piggy
What is
pond.
it?
I think they taste like aloe vera. Like they look like they taste like aloe vera.
Oh, sure, I can see that.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I can
Aloe
see
vera
that.
water. Yeah, kind of gross and medicine-y, but also kind of sweet, but also kind of weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
kind
I
of
can see
pickly. You're like,
that.
what is happening here?
Or
Yeah.
there's organic mouthwashes or something like that doesn't have alcohol in it or anything. You know what I mean?
I've
That's
never
kind of
tried those. I wonder what they taste like.
they're interesting. They're not as harsh on some of it doesn't. You don't get that burn or whatever it is. But again, but it's because of the burn that you think that you're like, no, I need to feel the burn in order for it to know that it's clean, right? Or whatever the fuck it is. So I don't know. It's up and down. But yeah, I don't know what that shit's tasting like. I don't know but these guys. They need to get he needs to whip him into shape, I think, a little bit. McClunky moments for Vanessa and Robert. What do you guys got over there?
I mean, basically going off of what we were just talking about,
Right.
the whole time too, I was sitting there watching and I was like, where's Fennec? Where is she? And then she comes at the last minute. I got this, guys. And that's it. Come on. I would love to have seen her throw a couple punches here.
She was
and
doing
there.
a face mask. It was very important.
Right.
I mean,
She was oiling herself.
I mean,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah, you got
Oh,
it.
right. Yeah. 100%.
Otherwise, she gets stuck like the Tin
I
Man.
just love. I know we're talking about the McClunky moment, but I love how everyone is falling down the stairs, trying to take him out, and then running around, and he just wipes out people, and then Fennec literally just goes, and then it's done. Yeah,
It was a knockdown. It was very kind of
comedy of
messy
errors,
and just sort of he's like, I'm just gonna bite you, which totally makes sense. I mean, I don't know, I did like the kind of that element once he because he kind of gets surrounded by all the kids, and I was like, this is fine. This is fine. This is cool. This is cool looking and stuff like that. But when they took a tumble down the stairs, that was when I was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting
messy. Yeah. And I liked that, but I liked the moment. Literally, she grabs her rifle, she takes out the fucking hand knife, and she's just like, and then she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Look, I literally did 2 movements. We're done here. What is going on? Yeah.
No, it's I know you guys were gonna go over there and step on his hand, but this is way more badass, and that's the type of shit that I do. So
exactly.
Just take a step
she
back.
Just shows up to steal the kill and take all the credit. Honestly, truly. And I love that for her, and she should, because she has
let Mistress go to work. Let Mistress go to work. You know what I mean? For sure.
And then building on that, I feel like killing one of the Gamorrean guards, I think, would have added way more weight to the situation. It would have made him seem so much more badass if he ends up taking one out while we watch it, or ended up killing it, to get to Boba Fett. You see the terror of him stalking Boba Fett. That would have been better. But, definitely losing people. I'm okay if we lose people in the Star Wars universe. I feel like we're gaining a lot, but I losing a Gamorrean guard, that was one of the most heartbreaking thing I remember growing up, is hearing him squeal while he's getting eaten by the Rancor.
Right. When the Rancor got him.
I think we'll save losing one of the guards for like a later moment. Like,
Hopefully.
I really think this was like a little bit of slapstick comedy, which I'm really disappointed by, because I know we were all looking forward to Black Cranston like going off when they shared that like heavy look, and then it kind of just ended up being like a super lame fight. I mean, it was entertaining and I loved watching it and I loved how many people were involved, but I was also like, come on. Like the whole time I was like, what? Come on.
I was thinking that like like how incredibly formidable he looked from his entrance, and then like
versus like what we got,
like some teenagers and a pig boy take you out, like, or whatever the fuck it is, you know what I mean? Like,
honestly, teenagers scare the living shit out of me. So like,
pig boy.
Teenagers, I would believe. Fennec Shand, I would believe. Gamorreans, I mean, they haven't really had a great track record through the show, but like, like I would have loved to have had the teenagers like legitimately fucking him up, but no one is allowed to be cooler than Boba Fett except for Fennec Shand. So
that's true. That's that like they kind of nerf him just a teensy bit, like in there, it's like whatever it is. I think that maybe like. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, it was definitely it was a little weak sauce insofar as like how they kind of like literally like kind of service the character. I do think that he's coming back though.
Oh, that'd be great.
I think that he's better. I think that he's gonna come back and possibly like we'll get like a kind of an Island of the Misfit Toys like group together.
I would like that. I don't think they're gonna do that, but I would like that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I can see he'd be like, don't work for assholes. By the way, do you want a job? Because people give me a lot
I
of
was really
money.
expected him to be like, hey, like come work for me. I'm not an asshole. Clearly,
it's very weird that they didn't go that way.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was one element, or at least like if I'm not gonna get a big fucking Viper versus the Mountain fight with this guy, which is what I thought was gonna happen. We
wanted Clegane Bowl.
We wanted the Shand showdown. You know what I mean? Like, and so but like if we're not gonna get that, then at least put him on the fucking team. But I'm assuming the prospect of not having him around in this show, I don't think. I think again, the same thing with like him riding on a Rancor into battle. Like, I think it's too delicious for them to not pick it up, but we'll see, you know, like that kind of.
Yeah, honestly, true.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody good with their McClunky moments? We ready to move on?
I would say that my McClunky moment was, damn it, I had one and now I got to think about it.
Right back where we started.
My McClunky moment was maybe the way they like wrapped up the twins so fast. I don't know. We're getting a lot of like moving parts, and like I understand that they want to keep like the big bad a mystery, but it kind of feels like they just can't decide episode to episode who the big bad is going to be. So they're kind of just shuffling everything around. It doesn't feel intentional. It doesn't feel specific. Like, and I don't know if that's just like a Robert Rodriguez choice or decision, or if they just want to like smoke out the finale boss or whatever. Right. But I don't know. It does feel like kind of scattered, like getting to episode 3 from the first 2 episodes. I'm just like, okay, I still don't know where the fuck this is going.
Or were you just like, oh, no, the bad guy's the mayor. Well, no, it's not actually the bad guy's not actually the mayor. He's actually the twins. Well, it's not actually the twins.
It's actually the Pike Syndicate, but it might not be the Pike Syndicate. It might be somebody else.
It might, yeah, exactly.
It ends up being the fish police. I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah. I think I'm still holding out that it's gonna be Garza Whip. I think she sent the assassins. Like, I really want it to be Garza Whip. I think Jennifer Beals is wasted in that role otherwise. So like,
that would be, dude, to be pulling the strings.
She's the secret boss.
I would dig that, because she's been like a point. Yeah, because it's just like, other than that, she's just there to just kind of be like, blah. Even though this is coming from a group of fucking filmmakers where we have Giancarlo Esposito, who says 8 words at the end of every scene and literally almost does nothing. Is like
gets an Emmy nomination.
I remember that was one element that I thought that was like that I could have used more of. But yeah, I understand exactly what you mean, Maddie. Like, insofar as like, it's kind of like, at this point, I want to start to build like the true adversarial, like, kind of relationship.
Like, set up the conflict. We don't have to get to it yet, but like set it up. Like, tell me what we're doing so that I know what to look out for. Otherwise, I'm just kind of like,
But then it feels like they just want like a payoff at the very end for the big surprise, the big reveal, and it just ends up being Crimson Dawn, and we're like, well, yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? Is that where we were going the whole time?
I mean, like, that's what I want. I want Kira to show up. I want Emilia Clarke to show up and be hot. Like, who doesn't want that?
Dude, to fucking work, get those eyebrows working again. We need to see him on the screen again. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But like, it's just.
Let's build up to it.
Are we?
Like,
can we like give me like a bone or something? Like, why are we?
Yeah, there's
here?
no little hints or anything.
Right.
Right. Yeah, it had to seem. Oh my God, we got ourselves a super chat over there. Thanks a lot to say. Thank you so much, sir. I think the shot showing the frog eating the bird that eats the other little creature was foreshadowing. The Hutts never planned on Chrysanthemum killing Fett. They're orchestrating the whole shindig. Maybe that would be interesting. Ooh. I mean, I like the twins a lot. So if you want to bring them back into the fold, into the story, and then not just to go fuck off on the debauchery of Hutta, aka Fuckfest 2020, you know what I mean? Yeah. But if to get them back in, I mean, I would have been totally fine if the twins were the big bad for the season. Am I alone in that? Or like,
it makes sense.
I feel
I would like it to. Also, I would need a little bit more, but you know, whatever.
Sure, of course.
I feel like they are the type of Hutts too that are like, let's wait it out. I don't want to deal with this mess. I just want to be with my brother.
That does go back to what you were saying in their style of character.
And then they back away, but they're still in the shadows, like jerking themselves off, waiting for people to finish what they're doing, and then they come in. They're like, "Oh, this was our plan the whole time."
Yeah. Right. Or it's like that's kind of like what was Morgan saying. Like they're just your scumbag friends.
Yeah,
like they're like
exactly.
They're like, maybe I'll take over the palace. Maybe I'm gonna get knuckle deep in my sister. Like I don't know.
You're just doing shit. They just do shit. That's what they do. They just do it. They don't think.
They're like Joker. Nope. They just do things. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, for sure.
They're running on vibes.
The Snookies of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yes.
Where's the beach? They're looking for the beach on Tatooine.
Oh my God. Nal Hutta being the like
Jersey Shore.
The Jersey Shore of Star Wars, like.
We would take it.
Back it up. We're done here.
Yeah, exactly. That's like best thing in the property. All too easy Easter eggs, which I always think is a fun one. And I mean, like, if you have them, if you don't have one, it's also cool and stuff. Like sometimes, like. I think Maddie's one of the more knowledgeable ones of us here and stuff like that. But like, if you got one, who's got one? Maddie, you got Easter egg for this?
I love the spider robot in the beginning.
Yes,
I love like the spider monks. Like they're like brain jars with spider robot bodies.
Yes,
and they were like. You see them in the original trilogy and you see them in Rogue One, and they showed up again in this one, and I was very happy. I was just like, oh, it's the spider guys, like I forgot. I meant to pull up their name, but like whatever. Spider droids.
Bomar monks, I believe.
Monks? That sounds right. For sure.
I don't even remember because it was always just the spider droid, but then they filled in the blanks later on with
the Bomar order. Yeah, but then they're also like BT-16 perimeter droids. Like I don't know why they have brains, but whatever.
Right.
I mean, it's to reach a higher point of existence. So you hook it's basically just, making yourself AI
from the
physical body.
Right.
If you live forever until your brain eventually dies.
Yep.
So,
one little thing that I did learn on Instagram, like about that though, is that the creature, the spider guy, the Bomar monks, like that was actually legit stop motion done by Phil Tippett Studios, who did all of the original puppetry from the original trilogy. Like Phil Tippett, who's like a fucking legend. So that was like, they're like, listen, we're not going to do this for everything, but with the way that this character moves, we can actually legitimately make a stop motion creature and kind of put it into the show, which I thought was like pretty fucking slick. Like I thought that was like, oh, that's like a really fucking cute nod or whatever it is. So yeah, I know I love that one. Robert, Vanessa, what was your Easter eggs over there?
The Ralph McQuarrie Jabba poster that
our
Skittles gang decided to take out. It served its purpose in that moment.
That was mine. I mean, like, because as soon as you see it, you're like, oh, that looks kind of familiar. And like, can I get it on my wall? Oh no, it's fucking destroyed. Fuck, you know what I mean? Like that was definitely like a blood, definitely like my heart leapt in my chest, and then it was immediately dashed. You know what I mean? Like as soon as that happened.
Dash Robert.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get him in. What do you got over there, Robert?
I mean, I just want a ship. I want Dash Radar's ship. That's it.
The Witches of Dathomir, like reference, talking about the writing, the Rancor, the Night Sisters and shit, man. The witches, originally the Witches of Dathomir. So getting those, like again, we said, expanding the universe, finding out that these beings do exist, not just in the animated series.
Well, not even in the animated series, but also in the video game.
Oh yeah, dude.
I hope we run into the Night Sisters in the Acolyte. And so I think that would be a good fun, like,
let's get into more the mysticism.
Air hockey pushover.
Right.
Over.
Yeah.
No, Robert, I think that's a really, getting into like a little bit more of like the like legit, because like the Force is a kind of a mysticism in a way, but getting into like some legit like kind of sorcery and stuff like that in the live action would be awesome, Robert.
Absolutely. It's definitely an aspect of the live action that has yet to be discovered, in the badass imagery that you can pull. You get Boba Fett riding a Rancor now, but then when you see these beings riding on these Rancors, especially if it's in the Acolyte, so we've already, had the big pop when it came to riding a Rancor. Granted, we popped that cherry with Omega. That sounded terrible. But we've got the Rancors becoming a general, mode of transportation and fighting. So it feels very Lord of the Rings. You got these Rancors going over and fighting. You got these witches doing some sorcery on top of them. So it could turn into something pretty badass. So witches,
I would like that. I don't think we'll get it in this show, but I think we will get it in Star Wars live action very soon. So.
Yeah, I think or it's like a nice little tease as to something that they possibly could pick up like at some point.
Like the twins were a tease for Andor, and we're gonna let Diego touch a Jabba, like, because that's what he wants. But then we're also going to like give like the Force witches over, like we're just gonna bottle them over to the Acolyte and explore the like fall of the High Republic or whatever with that show. I guess I don't know, but it's gonna be great. I'm very excited.
Right. Oh, we got ourselves a super chat over there. Adrian Flip Flop, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you. Do you think they will set up the Grand Admiral on this show as well?
I'm gonna say no. I think that they're going to set up Admiral Thrawn with the Ahsoka, the Ahsoka show. Yeah, that's gonna be the central point of Ahsoka, and they're not gonna want to introduce Thrawn before that. They might hint at him at some point, but I don't think it's gonna be in this show, and I don't think it's gonna be this season. So.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he were to kind of make an entrance, but like there might be like some passing references possibly made or something like that. You know what I mean? But it'll be, I do think that like as far as like the big marquee Grand Admiral Thrawn is fucking showing up in the show, that they're saving that for Ahsoka all day.
Absolutely,
Yeah, I think so. Morgan, what do you got over there for you got an Easter egg over there?
I just like whenever they like reiterate that the holiday special was real, did happen, is canon. So I think Boba was like, he's saying he's like, I wrote a bigger animal than this or something. He was referencing the cartoon, his first appearance, and I was just like, okay, it's real, it's canon again. So I'm just anything that gets me closer to Itchy, Grandpa Itchy, and
literally everyone in Star Wars doing coke. Yeah,
right. And
pornography machines, and
like literally watching it in the center. Even though that sounds like something that you would see on like a kind of like a racier sitcom. It's like Grandpa's looking at porn in the middle in the family room again. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I don't know.
Morgan's looking at itchy fan art in the living room.
Yeah, right.
By Ralph McQuarrie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes!
Oh, yeah, dude. Yes! Oh, God, Ralph McQuarrie. Like, well, we've said this before. Like, all animators and all art direction people are perverts. You know that they're drawing some weird shit like on their fucking off time. I know that I would be if I could draw worth of shit, but I can't. Probably, thankfully, honestly. Yeah, like you guys covered my Easter egg. As far as like the Ralph McQuarrie painting, I just thought that was a lovely touch and stuff like that. And again, like something where I'm just like, okay, put that on my Amazon wish list. Oh, it doesn't exist. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Or something. Maybe it will after this.
And shout out to R2KT, the lady astromech that exists in canon that supposedly was spotted during this episode. I didn't see her, but I hope she was there. Yeah, R2KT. Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Oh, here we got saying my favorite part of the holiday special was the Imperial being that introduced Jefferson's starship nodding and smiling to it after it was over.
Thanks, yes.
Dude, that shit is so it is like one of the most it's like it's like candy corn. It's like the candy corn of like holiday viewings, like where it's just like every year I'm stealing a bit from Lewis Black, but like every year, like an Alzheimer's patient, I'm like, is candy corn good? And then you eat it and you're like, oh my God, this tastes like shit. You know, like,
every year you're like, maybe the holiday special is
the
good.
holiday special is a lot of fun to watch, right? It's really good, right? It's like, and then like what feels like 800 hours later, this shit finally ends, and you're just like, I don't like. It's like, oh wait, yeah, this is awful. This is terrible for sure.
Worth it if we get Cuphead.
Oh, right. If we get the guy who's pouring the drinks into the top of his head. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And we're going to do it real quick with the wrap up of this year thing. Always tell me the odds, which is where we talk about what we think is going to happen in the next episode or towards the end of the show. Let's kick it over to Vanessa and Robert from Late to the Party. We again, thank you. Everybody give it up. Throw me a fucking 1 in the chat if you were having a good time and if you love the fact that they were here. I know that I love the fact that they were here and they've been hanging out.
We're having a blast over here, just like pointing at each other.
No, so what do you guys think is coming up in the next episode or like, you know, end game towards the show, or what's your take over there? What's happening?
So this is not necessarily like what I think is going to happen, but I would love to see it happen, is you take our Skittles mod game over here, the Vespa gang, and they totally scrapped down at where they used to do the pod racing, but they do it like 50 styles, got somebody like throw down, like, and that's going up against somebody else. They're like, we'll take you on if we win.
Hear me out. What is the name of the gang that killed all the Tusken Raiders? What are they called?
It starts with a K.
Like the guys that put like the guys that write the Justice League
symbol. Yeah.
I want them. I want fucking biker girl Eilish to roll up and be like, all right, hear me out. You and me, we're racing. Whoever loses gets the fuck out.
Yeah,
that could be sick.
Honestly, like
no. Well, Vanessa, yeah. I love that idea. Even if like, or even just having a scene like it's like an old dog race track that's like gone out of business or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like the big, like that point where they used to have the pod races. Like, do they have pod racing anymore? Like, is that a thing that happens at all anymore? Like that type of shit. Like that's something that
after Sebulba, I don't see why not.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, you know,
Sebulba return win. Like,
yeah, like, and so I don't know. I mean, like, I like, is that still going on? That would be a super slick little thing. So, I mean, if we get it in any capacity, I think that would be incredible, Vanessa. So now, you ruined the show for me if it doesn't happen.
Just don't let Robert Rodriguez direct that. Who's the lady that did the train fight scene? Get her in there.
Yeah. Just bring Deb Chow back. Like, let her do something.
There you go. Absolutely.
It's like George Costanza getting chased by the scooters and all the old people are just going down the street. But yeah, it's like like the Grease Lightning music, you know, just trying to race each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll just take this and make it Grease Star Wars.
Right. Absolutely.
Musical story.
I mean, the part of me is just like, I thought it would be over, but when it comes to the Tuskens, you know, being gone and done for, but then people in the comment section are like, yeah, but they don't show the kid and you don't actually see the girl warrior. And
we didn't see them die. Didn't happen.
Yeah. So it's like, I start to, you know, bring that into the equation. But if we didn't see it happen, did it happen? Yeah. Part of me is like, well, Disney's kind of short-changing things. So it's like, yeah, they're dead. Like they're dead. What we saw happen. But the other part of me is like, oh, she's going to come back with the young Tusken Raider and they're going to wreck shop and they're going to stay with them. And now we've got a Tusken and we've got Boba Fett and we got Fennec.
I mean, to be fair, like everything that happened with the Tusken Raiders at the beginning too, that was like 5 years before too. So he has all of this time to like grow up a little bit, the kid. Yeah. And now he's like a teenager.
Oh, yeah, that's possible. But then
maybe he's one part of the gang already.
But then part of me is like, well, it's not going to happen. They're dead.
I don't. True.
No, I think that's well said. I mean, like, I think that the idea of them, yeah, and that was one thing that I kind of didn't mention. That we kind of, I think we all uniformly kind of were just like, I wish that they didn't fridge the Tuskens. Agreed. Like it just, I mean, like somebody wrote like, it's like, well, this is this show's way of illuminating like the tragedies that have happened to indigenous people and like in North America and all over the world. And I'm just like, is it though? It feels
you
like
can't eliminate it. You can only avenge it. You can only like give it back. That's all you can do. You can't pretend it didn't happen. You can't unwrite it. Like all you can do. And to be honest, I think this is a more accurate representation of how people treat indigenous cultures you know, through history. Like I'm very interested to see what Boba does after that fact and how he handles that. And you know, we didn't see my favorite Tusken Raider dead yet. Like she could still be out there kicking ass. Like I would love if she showed up in the finale and was like, "Let's fucking go."
I think that they are coming. I would be very surprised if that
because he also said there were many tribes. Like it wasn't just that one camp.
Yeah. So they peeled off and they like hunkered down with another tribe, and then he comes in and they'll just they'll go he's good, he's good people, he's good folks. So even though they'll be saying or whatever the fuck it is, like it's like no, he's really cool. Like it's like no, it's like he fucking like he can roll a pearl fucking J. He's great at the cookout. It's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like
also, I will say about the BK broiler fight, I really liked that he used his gaffy stick and was like fucking like sticking him in it and shit. Like like that was a part of the fight that I liked, and I just wished that that was a little bit more through the rest of the fight.
Sure.
Like we're gonna get ourselves a total endgame Portals moment where he's like by himself going up against the big bad at the end, and then you got you got the Tuskens coming out. They're all coming, and then all the Vanthas, like everyone is coming to show up for Boba and be like, let's go.
I mean, why wouldn't they send word on the mystical man that helped them, defeat the Pikes in the train and avenge them?
I'm sure he's a legend. I'm sure he's a legend in the Tusken Raider community. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea a lot. I think that's a lot of fun.
Or they're kind of maybe, I'm wondering if that warrior, maybe she's kind of pissed at Boba because she's like, you convinced us to like go up against the Pikes. I know they were killing us.
I think she should be pissed at him.
And that maybe she took it might have been she took what was left of her tribe and they further retreated, which was kind of how they were like doing it before. They're just trying to avoid everyone. And that's how they kind of survived. Where I'm just like, I feel like, she'd be like, oh, you convinced us to do this stupid plan. Now look what happened. Like half my family's dead.
Yeah, man, for sure.
And I trust Morgan, man, because she called this shit in like the first episode saying that the Tuskens were going to end up getting taken down.
That's true.
She's 100%. Called them many. Freaking Morgan Damas over here.
I watch too much television.
And I think this the calling of number one in Squid Game like should go down as like one of the
also
called it.
I'm pretty sure you've called some things in Arcane too. I'll keep you updated on that. I'll have to rewatch, but
100%. 100%.
Morgan's got her finger on the pulse.
Yeah, 100. Absolutely. Goddamn right.
Or sometimes I just say 500 things and one of them is right. And so you're like, Morgan, you the whole time.
Right. Absolutely.
People came at us because we very much predicted what was going to take place in Cobra Kai from like moment to moment. So everybody's like, you watched it already. It's like, boy, I don't have enough time to do that shit.
No, we're just genre savvy. Yeah.
But you guys aren't seeing all the shit that I predicted that I didn't get right. That shit's on the cutting room floor. Go watch it.
Friend of the pod, Joanna Robinson, also does that. She her job is to watch TV and like podcast about it, and so she gets really good at like guessing what happens next. And she's like, I think this is gonna happen, and people are like, I can't believe you just posted spoilers. And she's like, I didn't post spoilers. This is just what I think would happen based on my knowledge of television.
Right? No, it's like no. I mean, like to Robert's point, it's like motherfucker. I watch TV for a fucking living. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not, you think this is a game? I live this life, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, there's definitely
you merely adopted this life. I was born.
Born in it. I was born in it. You merely adopted the reaction channel. Like, whatever. I didn't see season 4 of Cobra Kai till I was already a man. You know,
I was late to the party.
Oh my god. So like I think that what was my big thing? What did I have done? I do think we're coming up on the point. I said it was going to happen last week, but I do think that we're going to see the flashback where he rescues Fennec and fixes her. I think that's going to be interesting. And I wonder if we're going to see like literal, like kind of alternate camera angles of like the scenes that we've already seen in The Mandalorian, like from his POV from far away, seeing who was it, Bobby Cannavale's like son or whatever the fuck it was, like shooter and shit like that or whatever. Yeah. And so,
I think that's a little bit too Giga Chad for Star Wars Disney Plus. I'm not gonna lie.
You think so?
I think that's too good, and they're not gonna do it because it's too good. Like they haven't thought of it. Like I truly believe that.
Yeah, I think it would be a cool moment or whatever it is, and then. But yeah, I think that I kind of don't really see any other way that the or at least like the flashback timeline could kind of go, other than finding her for this next episode. So that's kind of what I think. Who else? And also, I'm so sorry if I skipped over anybody. Who else do we got? Who else needs to do? Tell me the odds. Who's around?
I guess I technically haven't done one yet, but mine was I want to see Fennec's flashback. I also think they're gonna throw at us like another wild like antagonist that we haven't even thought of yet, because it kind of feels like they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
True.
So yeah, I think we're just gonna buck
do you
think
we have one more bad guy reveal?
I think we have one more bad guy reveal, and I don't know how long that bad guy is going to stick around. I still think the main bad guy is going to be Garsa Whip, but I think they're just going to be like pocket sand, like here's another random bad guy,
right, or whatever. Or it's like, I mean, like that is kind of how some of them have kind of been in this show, like to its detriment a little bit, where they're just like it's like. Hey, I'm a bad guy. It's really good to see you. I'll talk to you later.
The soundscaping is really effective.
For sure. I mean, like, I don't know. It's like, yeah. So, like, I think, yeah. I mean, like, but I will say, like, yeah. And then also, like, I mean, we're getting him on top of a Rancor riding into battle. Like, I think, yeah. And but it is going to be. Like there is like a 13-year-old me where I'm just like fucking like it's gonna be good.
All right. I will put $5 down on. I hope Danny Trejo cries at some point. Ooh. At some point in the show, I want Danny Trejo to cry.
And let's hope that it's him like crying of pride
and joy.
Yeah,
pride and
joy. Not.
I will accept sadness, but I want pride and joy. Like,
oh my
God.
That
if they kill the Rancor, we riot.
We're out. I'm out.
Yeah, like that's kind of that would be. I think again, like that whole
he showed up. He's depressed. You're gonna make him battle, and then you're just gonna kill him.
Right.
What if the Rancor kills?
You guys thought I was gonna be here for a long time.
What if the Rancor kills?
Yeah. What if the Rancor kills him, and it's like Halloween? He's like, "I was good to you, Moochie. I was good to you." I hope it's Moochie.
I truly believe that Machete, the Rancor handler, like knows that if the Rancor murders him, that is on him. He fucked up. It was his problem. The Rancor did nothing wrong. The Rancor was simply living his best life. Like if because they even say like in the episode, like Rancors aren't actually violent unless they have to protect themselves. So he's like, if this Rancor kills me, then I deserve it.
Right. 100%. I like this over here. Can we please discuss how thick those Jawas have been lately?
Yes.
They have been a little bit.
I was going to ask to highlight that. They've been super thicky.
They've been a little beefier. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's a little bit of a new age. It's like post-Empire. People are eating a little bit better and stuff like that and stuff.
That's
you know,
true.
Like maybe
I still live in like related to the thick Jawas. I didn't get into Star Wars. I have been in Star Wars since I was alive. But there is a Star Wars actual play called The Campaign Podcast, and it's how I got into podcasting. And they do a side story about a Jawa named Utini, who he's like beefy. He's a beefy Jawa, but he talks like this, and it's great. And I want a mountain fucking Jawa in this house.
There we go. I'm with that for sure. I gotta put this really. I'm still thinking the main bad guy's gonna be Salacious Crumb in a badass Iron Man mech suit.
Salacious Crumb.
Yes.
If he wasn't on the spit grill, even though I think it was just one of those creatures. I don't know if that was.
That was his uncle.
Dustin is in the chat right now. He says he wants Bosk. if you want to scroll up and pull it up.
Doesn't it's like
Me,
give me
give me
boss.
boss,
I mean,
yeah.
I think that it would be dope to see maybe one of the OG crew from Empire show up, and Bosk, given how much fucking
I would
how
like
much
to see it.
the given how much the Transdoshans are kind of in play in this world, like I do think that that one you can draw a very straight, like it's not going to be totally out of left field. Like you can draw a straight line for Bosk like showing up at least in some form like in this show. So yeah, I think Bosk would be fun. You know what I mean?
Get me a Dengar or a Forlom, you cowards.
I'm telling you, for love of money. Yes, give me Forlom, give me Dengar.
IG-88. We already know
IG-88 would be fun.
I mean, we did already get an IG. I think.
True.
So I think we need Forlom and Dengar and Bosk representation as well.
I think it's like Christopher Miller, like Danny gives Boba a single nod of pride while he rides the Rancor off into the sunset.
Yes,
hey, I'm with that. I'm absolutely with that. I'm definitely thinking that could totally work for sure.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, I think that pretty much like kind of wraps it up for us over here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that, and again, like I just want to shout out to everybody out there in the chat and everything like that. We love how teeming with life the thread gets going over here. And I am sorry that we can't get to all of them and stuff, but we do thank everybody who threw in for the super chats for this week. And again,
do we want to talk about where to find people?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was just about to get there. And we will start with, we just want to put a fucking one in the chat right now. If you had a great time with Late to the Party, if you want to say thank you to Robert and Vanessa for coming over. If you haven't subscribed to their channel, I absolutely like 100% wholeheartedly encourage you to do so, especially if you guys are like, when the fuck are these fucking assholes from Watchers in the Bar going to actually put out a video? If you need to kill some time, these guys are lightning quick with those edits, and they're so much fun, and they're having a great time. But just tell everybody where they can find you and like what you guys got coming up, like on your channel and everything.
Sean, I appreciate it, man. Like we're almost to 100,000, so we're almost there. Literally, like less than 4,000 away from 100K. So, but yeah, no, it's just great to be part of a community with you guys, to share the screen with you guys the way that we do. But it's Late to the Party wherever you're searching for whatever, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Late to the Party,
Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Discord.
Yeah, we're going through The Boys right now. That's why we're late to the party.
Fun.
There's plenty of shows we've never seen. So we're going through The Boys and Alice in Borderland on our channel as well.
I love Alice in Borderland. I watched it. I watched
good.
it like 6 to 8 months ago.
We
and
got
oh
one
my God,
episode
I'm
left.
enamored.
It's insane, but Late to the Party wherever, or you'll see us watching the Arcane reaction coming up in like a half hour on this.
Oh yeah, that's
I don't
also
know if you guys know this Late to the Party, but I am like a League fanatic. I love everything about it. I spent all morning before I got on this call watching the pro leagues for Europe and then North America. Like I like live and breathe and die by Arcane.
Perfect.
I mean, so I will be checking that out, and I'm so excited.
What I had to do. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, like, after we watched Arcane, I'm all up on TikTok looking at all of these like cosplayers playing like Jinx, and Vi, and there's one on there, like I can't remember her name, but like she does the most amazing Vi cosplay ever, and I was like super jealous.
Right.
I'm working on a League of Legends cosplay right now, and after I finish that, I'm going to do Vi Arcane, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
Awesome. Well, that was how I got Maddie to show up in this. Like I left like a crumb trail of Arcane lore and stuff like that, and everything like that to get her over. No, but I mean, like one of the big, like, and also like you're part of the reason why we started doing that show, Maddie. Like it was like on your recommendation, and all the other and everybody else that's like that. You know, the internet,
it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Do you know how hard it is for an animated show, let alone a TV show, to get 100% on Rotten Tomatoes? That's fucking insane.
100%, absolutely. Well, that's so again, give a look-see to Late to the Party. Maddie, like, let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me at Maddie Kay Ultra on Instagram. You can find me at Maddie Kay Plays on Twitter, and you can find me at Hillbilly Eilish on Twitch, where I stream League of Legends and RPGs and talk shows, and I just hang out, and I love to have fun and talk about TV shows. Please, please, please at me or DM me about Arcane. I'm here to talk always.
She absolutely is here to talk about it.
We were up till like 3 a.m. one night just screaming about Arcane.
Just going through it. Yeah, just chunking it out for fucking sure. Absolutely. So so again, you guys know where to keep it over here. We appreciate you guys coming by over here. Keep it here. If you haven't hit us with a like and a subscribe and all that stuff, do so if you please, and make sure that you stay subscribed and hit that bell to make sure that you get like all the notifications for everything that we're putting out over here with Watchers in the Bar. Again, like we will be back here next week. Next week we're gonna have another special guest. So we're getting these late to the partiers out of here. We're taking that box and we're fucking scooting it on over, and we're moving in. Joining us is very special, an old friend. Sam Coleman, aka Young Hodor, is going to be joining us on the chat. He's an old homie, a collaborator. It's going to be great to hang with him. He always has like an incredible viewpoint and like and super like a very dry English wit that he brings to it. You know what I mean? Which is always welcome. So he's going to be joining us next week. So make sure that you keep it here and bring it back here for the Boba Brunch Breakdown. We appreciate y'all for hanging out very much, and we will check y'all later. Take it easy, everybody. We'll talk to you.